Afternoon guys, welcome back to the Playhouse. I hope you enjoyed the morning's videos. It was really good to see some of you on the Zoom small groups earlier this morning as well. It was great to share that time with you. Well, as promised, I'm going to show you how to make one of these wristbands this morning. So all you'll need is your bit of paracord from your packs. Hopefully you've got this. If you didn't get your packs through, maybe you could have a look for something that might act as a replacement, a big bit of string or some cord or something that you can use to make a bracelet. But if you've got your paracord, grab it and we'll get started. So I'm going to grab your paracord and we're going to find the middle. So grab the two ends, hold them together, and then just run the cord through your hands until you get to the end, like that. And we want to then run it around our wrist, so we've got an idea of how long we want it to be. So once we've got a point, we've got our middle here, and we've got the point that we're getting to over here. So when we've done that, I'm going to grab each side and make two loops so that we've got, so that we know where we're starting. A bit of cord on the right. This is my right hand, and a cord on the left. This is my left hand. So once we've got to grips with this, it should flow quite nicely because you're just doing the same pattern over and over again. But we're going to start with the cord on our right. We're going to take that across the top. So you take that across the top of the loop of the cord. Now with the cord on the left, that's going to go around. It's going to go over to start with, around the back, then up and through the loop on the other side. And then we're going to pull that nice and tight. So as I say, it's the same pattern over and over. So I'll show you that pattern again. This time, cord on the left, take that over the top to the other side, and then the cord on the right goes over, around the back, then up and through on the other side. And then we start to get back here. Let's show you. There we go. So try and do this one nice and close. So that cord that goes over the top the first time, always that same cord that goes over. So it's up back on the right hand side now. So it starts by going over the top, this side so you can see it. It goes over the front. And then your other cord goes over the cord that's just come across, around the back, and then up from behind and through the loop. And then pull that nice and tight. And then you can start to start to see the pattern starting to emerge. So it's on the left now, goes over to the other side, take the other cord over, around the back, up and through. So still that cord, still the side that started over first is going over and across, and take the other cord over, around the back, up and through. So now if you follow that pattern all the way down, you'll have this all the way down the bracelet. So it looks something like this. I found this really, really therapeutic over the last few days. I've actually made several of these now, because once I've done one, my kids wanted one each, and Helen, my wife, has also decided that she wants one as well. So I've made quite a few of these now. I don't know, like I say, I find it quite a therapeutic process. My mind focused on just one thing for a few minutes. It's almost like a mindfulness activity, but just to be kind of present in the moment, to get into the rhythm of the movement of the chords. Here comes the rain again. So you want to, if you've got loops like this up at the top, that's quite helpful because we're going to be passing the chord through those in a little bit. If they're a little tighter than that, that's fine, but just remember you've got to get the chord through those. But maybe as you're having a go at this at home, and I hope you are, so we've all got a little bracelet or a wristband of our own. Maybe you can draw to mind those things that you're hopeful for. We talked this morning about kind of praising God through our circumstances, and even though that we might have things that we're worried or concerned about at the moment, we can give those things to God, ask Him to hold them and to help us to work through them, and to be reminded of the things that God has done in our past, those things that we've seen God do before in our own lives and in the lives of other people, and just to use that as a way of giving us hope for our future as well. I wonder what you're hoping the world will start to look like after lockdown, as restrictions ease, as we start to get back to the things that we used to do, maybe in a different way that we used to do them. School's going to look very different come September, and it'll be great to be back, but also maybe strange and new. But we hope that that new thing will be even better than it was before. Starting to come towards the end now. You can see that pattern all the way down, which is that same process. It's still the same chord that starts by going over to the other side and take the other chord over, around the back and through. You will find that as you do this more and more, your hands will just fall into the rhythm with it. For ages I was forgetting which side had started. I was having to kind of go back and do it a couple of times. You want to get quite close. You see there's a loop at the bottom. You do want to get quite close to this so that it finishes off nice and tight. So I think I'm just going to do one more, going over and then around the back. And up and through. Now this bit is a little bit tricky. Actually, just to make it easier, I'm going to come back one, just so it's easy for you to see. Okay, so I have been evicted from the playhouse for a little while. But this is the point that we've got to. We've got right down to the bottom, and we should have something of a loop. Now this bit is fiddly and it is tricky, but we're going to start with the loop, the cord that's been coming over the top to start with each time, we're going to take that side and we need to pass that down through the loop in the middle. Now I find that using a pencil or something is helpful just to try and get it through the other side. So this is kind of the fiddly bit and the tricky bit to get it through. You can actually get some professional sort of things that help take it through. Things, it's probably got a proper crafty name, but that's going to start by coming down through. Now this other cord, it's effectively the same pattern, it's just going through the loop, but it's going to go over, so from the other side it's going to go over, and then we're coming up through the loop. I'm using a pencil to help get it through. That's not been too bad actually. So now as that comes up and through, we're going to take it through that loop that we've created on the other side. And the cord on the other side is going to come up and through that loop there, and we just want to tighten that off, and it creates a knot down at the bottom to keep it nice and secure. And then once we've got that, we've formed the kind of the main body of the wristband. I quite like this this paracord, the black and white. It's good. Anyway, to finish it off, remember those loops that we started with up at the top, up here? There they are, look. There's 2 loops up at the top. So the cord on the right is going to go through the loop on the right hand side up at the top. Again, I'm going to use my pencil to push that through, because this is what forms like or allows us to tighten the wristband onto our wrists. There we go. To the right, through the right hand side, and as you'd expect, to the left. I'm going to go through the left hand side. There we go. So now you can see we've kind of effectively got our wristband. I want to straighten those out so they're nice and straight. Now depending on which wrist, this is how it looks on a finished one. So we're now just going to create this knot at the end so that we've got a way of loosening it. It just come off. I ended up making this one a little bit too tight. It does come off. Oh, there we go. It comes off. It forms a stopper so it can be tightened and loosened. And the way we're going to do that, you might want to pop it on your wrist to start with so you can see how long it wants to be. You want to give yourself enough slack so that it can come over your wrist nice and comfortably. There we go, that's roughly, here is where I want my knot to be. You might want to use a pen or something just to mark that point. This is how we're going to tie off our knot. Again, we want our 2 cords, and we're going to create 2 loops again. A loop on the right and a loop on the left. And we're going to have 1 cord that's going to go in front and 1 cord that's going to go behind. So we're going to take one over the top. That sits in front, look. And then our other cord we're going to take behind. There we go. Now the cord that went over the top, see it there, one over the top and one behind. The cord that went over the top is going to go underneath, and then up. There we go, get in the right place. Look at this cord on this side that went over the top. The cord that went over the top is going to go around the back, and up and through the loop on the left. And the cord that went behind is going to come around and down through the loop on the left, on the right hand side, sorry. Got left and right mixed up. And we're just going to work that through so we get it nice and tight. Again. Get to a point that we can, there we go. So then that forms our stopper knot. So you can see it slides through, stops, slides through nicely. Now this is where you might want to get a little bit of help using some scissors and a little bit of fire. So please, please, please get a grown-up to help you with this, just to make sure that you're not burning yourself or something else. But if I show you what to do, you can get a grown-up to help you with this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim each side so it's nice and neat. And you can leave it there and that'll be fine. But if you do have some help, then what you can do is you can singe these ends and they form a nice tight little bond. So being really, really careful. Just gently, you don't need to hold it on for long. You can see that the cord drifts away, and grab the end of your scissors and just smooth that down. And the same on the other side, being really careful. You don't need to hold the flame on for too long. You can see it just kind of melts down a little bit. And again, using the back of the scissors. And there we go. We have our summer camp online bracelet. Slides over the top. Made it a little bit tight again. And there we go. That's another one done. I think I like this one better than my first one. So, have a go. Make sure you get your help for that last little section, and show us your creations. Have a good afternoon.